some people can get real content and real comfortable where they're at. We all can. As a human being, our immediate path of least resistance that we seek is to feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. That's what we do. We try to find comfort, right? But that's the opposite of what it takes to like go to another level in life and abundance and prosperity or whatever term that you want to define it as. The only way to get there is to find comfort in the uncomfortable. And we've all heard that. We're all on social media, so everybody talks about that. But like it's real. So, I think that the last 3 years, and I was talking with some people that are kind of mentors of mine or people I look up to that have had a lot of success in business that are completely submerged into personal development, and they articulate it in a way that like resonated with me. And, part of the conversation was just talking about getting ready for a recession, and that there's always three phases that happen. And people like Ray Dalio, who's supposedly the greatest financial leader of our time, like he's predicted all this stuff in the markets, right? And he does it based on cyclical events, like events of the past. Like his entire philosophy is there's nothing we're experiencing on earth today as human beings that they didn't experience 1,000 years ago. It's just packaged differently, right? And so same concept Robert Greene talks about in 48 Laws of Power, right? It's the way that people gain power and gain success is there's different strategies, but all the strategies have been around since the beginning of time. What Ray Dalio and all these experts, and I hate to use the word thought leaders, but all these people that are like in it, like he's not a personal development speaker. He's been in the financial markets. Like he's created billions and billions of dollars in his hedge fund and clients and blah blah blah. The point being is that they're saying that we're getting ready, whether you believe it or not. It's tough for me to believe it because when you're kind of an optimist, you never really want to think about that. And then I thought to myself, shit, I hope so though, for our own sake, because during a recession, our industry thrives and grows. And if you understand the psychology of it, it's just real simple. Getting ready for a recession, everyone stops. People insulate themselves. They're worried. They freeze. They, look to cope. They don't look to like figure out how to take advantage of it. That's the masses don't do that. It's the elite people that they start preparing 3 years ago to like literally crush it in the next. And they say that this winter, this recession is going to be 8 to 10 years long, like the biggest and the longest since the Great Depression. So there's some people that are excited about it because they're already creating strategies to capitalize off of it, right? Because at some point, and one of my friends, he used this word, and he said, people have been dealing with discouragement. Like people are just discouraged. Even like positive people are discouraged right now. Like it's kind of the theme of the overall morale of people for the last year or 2 years. Yep. And I was like, man, it just resonated with me. That is true. Yeah. I feel it within our community. I feel it outside of our community just in other things. People are discouraged. Like, school systems changed because of COVID. The entire workforce has changed. The mindset of actually working has changed. Yes. Yeah. And people are discouraged. Then you had all of the stimulus packages insulated into the economy that created false sense of growth, and then it actually gave people this false sense that they don't have to do anything to get paid. Right. And so like people disconnected to their ambition. Yeah. And when he said that, I was like, dude, that makes sense. Because as humans, we want to go to a place of comfort, so they become comfort. But in that level of comfort is when you start losing ground, because you're either getting better or worse, right? Yeah. And it's gradual. Like you don't even realize that you start downshifting until you're like, what have I been fucking doing, right? Yeah. And so, and I'll use a sports analogy. If you're recruiting a great sports team, and you're in college basketball, and let's say you're at Kentucky, and Kentucky wins a national championship, well, the majority of those guys are going to go in the NBA or graduate. So if you don't have an incoming class that's just as hungry to win that title, to go to the NBA, you're not going to be a top 20 team next year.